Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Please subscribe if you haven't yet already. It's a red button beneath me somewhere, and if you click on that you'll be subscribed. There's also a white bell next to that, and if you click on that you'll get an alert every time I upload new content, which is awesome. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. That would make me really happy. Today's video is the sixth, I believe, in a series where I am taking looks from the Rae Morris Makeup Masterclass book and kind of doing my own take on them, using them for inspiration, following them step by step, and walking us through the steps that I'm taking. Today's look is Inner Warriorness. I look nothing like this model. She's fantabulous. But this is what I did. So if you'd like to see how I got this look and walk through the steps with me, please keep watching. Step one was to prep my skin, so moisturizer and SPF and all that good stuff. Then I'm applying foundation and concealing where necessary. For foundation, I'm going to use my It Cosmetic CC Cream in Fair, and I'm going to apply it to my face and blend with a flat foundation brush. I might go in and apply a little bit more. For this one, it's not saying to apply a light foundation or a dark foundation. It's just saying to apply a light foundation. This is actually okay. I'm not concerned about this being, again, light or dark. Not light or dark, but heavy or sheer or medium. I was more concerned about it being evenly distributed, and it seems like it's pretty evenly distributed. I will conceal where necessary, and where necessary is under my eyes with my Glossier Stretch Concealer in Light, and under my eyes. And again, in this, bringing a little bit down on my nose actually. My allergies are really kicking up. This step, and none of the ones that I've done so far, have included anything to set concealer. I am going to set my concealer with my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. And also, none of these steps have included anything about, none of these looks have included anything about specifically using eye primer. So again, I'm not using any eye primer in this video. All right, we are still in step one. We are now moving down a little bit lower. So she's telling me to use a deluxe oval shadow brush and take a small metallic, slightly apricot eyeshadow and apply a wash over the eyelids, extending it out slightly. So out slightly this way. And I'll bring you in a little bit. For that, I'm going to use ColourPop Come and Get It. And I'm going to use a Zoeva Luxe Smoky Shader brush. I'll insert a picture. Most of the other instructions have been specific about extending it up beneath the brow bone or all the way to the brow bone. And it looks like it's going up all the way here. So I'm going to do that all the way, but it does say to apply a wash. So what I'm going to do, I'm using this brush and I'm applying it on my lid. And then I'm going to take the same side of the brush that just has a little bit of the shadow left on it, apply a little bit more, put it on my lid just to get the most of it on my lid, and then bring it up because I want to make it more diffuse. So what I'm trying to achieve here, and then I'm bringing it out because she said to bring it out a little bit. What I'm trying to achieve here is applying the bulk of the pigment on my lid and then having a little bit left on the brush to kind of bring up. So that's pretty okay. And I am bringing it up all the way, but I'm being very light at the very top. Okay, then, still on step one, I'm highlighting the inner corner and under the brow bone with a bronze gold shimmer. Also apply the shimmer across the upper lash line just like an eyeliner. So, I'm gonna use, this is from Itsy Cosmetics and it's called Squad. There was a YouTuber who's been off the air for a while, for like a year. Her name was Michelle. Forget the name of her channel, but I'll put it beneath her. She did a quad with Itsy, and this was one of them. It was called Squad Goals. So I'm using this old MAC brush that I don't even, it's probably a lip brush now that I think about it. And I'm gonna use this to apply this. So I'm going to highlight the inner corner. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. She's not being specific about highlighting the inner corner on the top and the bottom, or just on the top or just on the bottom. And then under the brow bone, which I think is this. I think, now that I think about it, well, as long as I'm being symmetrical, it's okay. But now that I'm thinking about it, and this is ridiculous just in terms of anatomy, that I'm even wondering about this. Underneath my brow bone would probably be there, right? My brow bone's there. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just gonna make it be symmetrical, and it's subtle enough on this model that it's not like I'm doing something egregious here. And then I'm applying it again on the upper lash line just like I would an eyeliner, because I'm new to the using eyeshadow as eyeliner game. What I would do if I was applying it as eyeliner would actually be to include some kind of mixing medium. So I'm going to use my MAC Fix Plus with this same brush. Something else that's interesting is there have been other looks that I've done in this book where she's been very specific about using a clean brush every time, even if you're using the same color. And I'm not yet seeing anything in here about using the same brush or using different brushes. So I am just going to use the same brush, and I'm going to pick up a little of this. So because I'm applying it like I would an eyeliner, I'm going to apply it fairly thick, almost as though I'm applying eyeshadow to my lid. So this is, I mean, obviously it's eyeshadow, but what I mean to say is often when in this book, what she's generally doing, I've never seen her not do this, is apply the first color from the lid kind of up, and then the next colors lower on the lid or upper on the lid, sometimes in the crease. So I'm actually applying this not in a straight kind of pencil like I would, not using an angled brush is what I mean to say, I think. This is a lot thicker than I'd be getting if I was using a pencil or if I was using a traditional eyeliner. But that's the way that I would be applying eyeliner if I was using it as using a shadow to do it. Then I am using a different brush. This is a medium oval shadow brush and the same bronze copper, so this one, to highlight up to the brow bone, because I guess it was just a wash going up before, and now I'm going to apply more up here. And interesting too, because this model's complexion is a lot darker than me, and I wonder if I should be using lighter colors because my skin's lighter, but it kind of doesn't matter. I just am experimenting is kind of the whole point. All right, step 2, we're taking a dark matte violet eyeshadow. I'm gonna use Coastal Scents Deep Grape. We're using a lash line smudger brush underneath the bottom eyelash line, but only the outer 3/4. The remaining quarter will be covered by the highlight from step 1. Oh, okay, so yeah, I did bring the highlight over kind of a quarter. So she's not saying to do this, but just because I don't want a bunch of fallout, I'm gonna use, this is a Lottie London brush, angled brush, and some Fix Plus, and I'm gonna tap it even though it's wet. And applying that as close to my lash line as possible. And same on my other eye. And then using a clean, interestingly, clean lash line smudger. So same brush, which I don't have another of those brushes, so I'm gonna use this is actually a Zoeva brow brush. It's wider and stubbier, which is actually probably better for me for using for eyeliner. So Fix Plus, and I'm gonna do the full length of my upper lash line. With this, I'll speed you through this. All right, so interestingly, yeah, this is, she had me use two of the same brush, actually, I'm supposed to be using with the same color. So interesting how in some situations she's having me use a different clean brush, even in the same product, and sometimes she's not making a distinction. All right, then using the same color, but this time with a medium point shader brush, which for this I'll use a Makeup Geek Defined crease brush, and again, we're still using Deep Grape. We're going to extend the color from the lower lash line out at the outer corner of the eye and create a V around the outer corner of the eye and into the upper lid socket. So we're just gonna do the outer V, starting here and kind of just bringing it up. And I'm going into, this wouldn't matter for her because she's not using any mixing medium, but I'm using the part of the pan that doesn't have the mixing medium in it. So I'm going into the powdery side of it. And I am gonna tap it off because I don't want any fallout. Makes sense that she is doing and I'm not picking up anymore because it's fairly pigmented. It's interesting that makes sense that she's doing the foundation first, because there's no real way to, if you were to put foundation on over this, it would obstruct, kind of cover up what I'm doing with the colors. So I'm trying to make that line beneath my lid a little less harsh with the brush. And then again, to blend, following on step 2, to blend, use the original metallic copper eyeshadow with a deluxe oval shadow brush. So I'm going to use the same one. This is the Zoeva one that I used before with the same copper. This is Copper Apricot. Come and get it. Just to kind of blend this a little bit more. And I remember actually that first step with the doing the wash of the copper eyeshadow, it did extend, kind of, she said to extend it beyond, extending it out slightly is what she said. All right, we're defining brows. Just gonna use my Glossier Boy Brow in brown. She has fabulous natural brows, and I just need to accept what my brows are gonna do and not complain about them. I don't know if this is TMI, but I have noticed that your brows are there for a reason. Sometimes when I'm exercising, if I'm getting a little bit sweaty, I think, oh yeah, my eyebrows. If I had a lot of eyebrows there, I wouldn't be getting sweat in my eyes. It's probably a little bit too much, but that's what I'm thinking about. But yes, my eyebrows are what they are. They're not gonna change, and I just need to appreciate them for what they are. They frame my face. They do keep some sweat out of my eyes. Thank you, eyebrows. All right, then we're contouring. Define eyebrows, contour, and lightly powder all over. So for contour, I'm gonna use the Urban Decay Shapeshifter Light Palette. And I'm gonna go into the matte contour shade. And I'm using the powder side, not the contour side, not the cream side. That's a lot. All right, so I'm gonna go back in with my Zoeva brush and just blend a little bit. This is the brush that I used for the foundation. A little on my chin. All right, step 3. Apply top and bottom mascara to keep the eyes looking more open. I'm not gonna curl. I'm just gonna apply mascara. This is Benefit Roller Lash, and that's fine. I don't use a lot of bottom mascara. Most of her looks do call for applying bottom mascara, and I don't think that I've changed. I don't really use much bottom mascara when I'm not trying to follow one of these looks, but because it feels like it gives me more of a shadow under my eye, but I'll always do it when she's telling me to do it. I missed the powder all over step. That was back in step 2. This is my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder. Lightly powder all over. Which is also interesting because she's often telling me, she's not telling me, she's not writing the book for me, but she's often saying just to apply in the T-zone. So I think it's interesting when she's saying apply all over versus apply in the T-zone. I'm not seeing a pattern, but if I do see any kind of a pattern as I'm progressing in this book, I'll certainly let you know. Okay, back to step 3. We are applying a soft matte apricot blush. And the closest that I can get is, this is from the Too Faced Love Flush palette. These are those blushes that come in the hearts. And this is I Will Always Love You. And I'm applying that with a ColourPop stippling brush. Not totally matte, but matte enough. And the main thing I think is because of the purples and the coppers, I think it's more important to be using a peach blush than to be using a matte blush in a different color, because the peach really kind of works well with all of the other colors going on. Keeping your blush nice and high gives a more youthful look and lifts the face, so nice and high. And then finally, we're finishing off with a nude caramel shade of lipstick. And for that, I'm gonna go in with ColourPop 0.0. It's kind of as caramelly as I have, and it's a little more taupe, but that's okay. It's as close as I'm gonna get. And that's that. She also has extra steps here, and the extra steps are to add a lot more pencil kind of around your eye and in your waterline, which I don't want to do today, and to apply false lashes and whatnot. So I'm going to leave it as it is. I will say that she does include a tip here, and I completely agree with this. I'll read it to you, and I'll put it up on the screen. Trying new makeup looks is a must, which is what I'm doing with this book. But my best advice is to, quote, play before the important day. Make sure that you take a selfie or two to see how it looks. I also suggest taking a few photos both with and without flash. It will give you an idea of how you will look in all your photos with no, quote, surprises. And I can't agree with her more. I think it's important to do that before you take your makeup off at night, to just practice with things. I did that before my wedding. I did a bunch of different makeup looks, especially because my wedding was a little bit during the day, but mostly at night. And I was going to be using a little bit of sunscreen, and I needed to be looking at myself with flashback and not flashback. So I took a lot of pictures of myself with and without flashes, and it's important to do that so you feel comfortable and confident, which is really what it's all about. So thank you so much for watching. A lot to do in the world, a lot to do on YouTube, and I really appreciate the time that you took to spend with me today. Take care, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.